Losing a job, it can feel like the ground just vanished from under your feet. It's a shock that hits way more than just your bank account, right? It rattles your entire sense of who you are. So how in the world do you get through that emotional storm? Today, we're going to walk through a path forward, and this isn't just about getting by, it's about seeing if we can actually turn one of life's toughest moments into a chance for some serious personal growth.
And this is almost always the first place your brain goes, isn't it? It's that raw, awful question that just puts all the blame right on you. It's that voice screaming in your head on the drive home, replaying every single meeting, every project, desperately searching for the one mistake that led to this. It's a totally universal starting point, but you know what? It's not the truth. Okay, this is so important to get. That feeling of shock, the numbness, the absolute chaos you feel inside, that is not you being weak. It's a trauma response. As psychologist Dr. Maya explains, your brain is basically hitting the brakes and disconnecting for a second to protect you from being completely overwhelmed. It's a natural biological shield, not some kind of personal failure. So that brings us right to the first stage, just dealing with the moment it happens. It's about letting yourself feel that shock and validating that initial reaction. You're not overreacting, you are having a completely normal human response to a massive life event. Now, after that first shockwave passes, something kind of deeper and way more confusing can start to creep in, and that's a full-blown identity crisis. This is that moment where we're forced to ask who we are when that professional title we wore like armor is suddenly gone. This question, it just hits the nail on the head, doesn't it? Our culture drills into us that we are what we do. That job title becomes shorthand for our value, our purpose. So when it disappears, it can honestly feel like our entire self got deleted right along with it. You know, a tiny shift in how we talk can totally change our reality. Look at this powerful reframe from Dr. Maya. Instead of saying, I do nothing, which defines you by a lack of something, you say, I'm in transition. This defines you by a process, by movement. And that's not just playing with words, you're actually telling your brain a more positive, forward-looking story.
This is one of the most liberating, but honestly one of the hardest lessons in this whole thing. You have to remember, your value as a person is built in. It doesn't come from a productivity report or a fancy title. You have worth just because you exist. And right now is the perfect time to start practicing that belief.
Okay, now we have to get to the real emotional stuff. This next part of the journey is all about giving yourself complete and total permission to feel everything. The anger, the sadness, the confusion, all of it, without any shame or judgment.
What you're going through actually has a name, job loss grief. And this really explains why it feels so massive. Your mind and body are processing this loss the same way they would the end of a major relationship. Calling it what it is, grief, makes your feelings valid. It helps you understand that this emotional roller coaster isn't chaos. It's a natural, necessary process.
This right here is such a critical distinction. There's a huge difference between pausing to heal and just running away from the pain. Mindlessly binge-watching a show to numb out, that's running. But consciously deciding to watch that same show because you know your nervous system needs a break, that's pausing. It's all about the intention behind it.
So once you've let yourself really feel the feelings, you can start to pivot a little. This stage is about shifting from just being hit by the pain to actively looking for the lessons that might be hiding inside this whole mess.
This is the question that just bubbles up, right? Why me? It's a natural question, but it's also a trap. It kind of frames you as a victim, stuck in something that just happened to you, with no power at all.
But watch what happens when we just tweak the question, just like Dr. Maya suggests, asking, what is this trying to teach me? It changes everything. Suddenly you're not a victim anymore, you're a student. It opens the door to curiosity and real insight. And this is the kind of mind-blowing clarity you can find. This realization from Alex is a perfect example. By asking a better question, he figured out he wasn't mourning the work itself. He was mourning the feeling of being needed. That is a game-changing insight for what he does next.
You know, when it comes down to it, we often cling to things out of fear or just habit, not because we actually love them. This weird in-between time is a golden opportunity to be honest with yourself. What did you truly love about that job, and what were you just holding on to? The answer to that's where the real healing starts.
All right, this brings us to the final part of the journey, the part where we start taking action. We've processed the emotions, we've looked for the meaning. Now it's time to get practical and start rebuilding your routine, your self-esteem, and your confidence.
So here's a pretty powerful roadmap for healing. First, get a daily rhythm going. Not a work schedule, a life schedule.
It just tells your brain that life still has structure. Second, gratitude. Seriously, even if it's just for your morning coffee, naming something good is one of the fastest ways to settle your emotions. Third, contribute something. Volunteering or just helping someone reminds you that you have value to offer. And finally, and this one is huge, celebrate the effort. Forget the outcome for a minute. Celebrate sending the resume, not just getting the interview.
This is such a crucial way to redefine confidence. See, it's not about being 100% sure you'll succeed. It's about trusting your own ability to bounce back. It's an internal belief that you can handle whatever life throws at you. And that is a kind of confidence that no layoff can ever touch.
If you take just one thing away from all of this, please let it be this. This experience, as painful as it feels right now, is not a sign that you are broken. It is a sign that you are in the middle of a transformation. Life is just clearing out what's no longer needed to make room for what's next.
And this right here, this is the ultimate reframe. What if this wasn't a loss at all? What if it was a release? A chance to finally let go of a heavy, exhausting identity and discover who you really are underneath it all.
Let this be your anchor. Through all the uncertainty, all the self-doubt, all the rebuilding, just hold on to this one truth. It is the non-negotiable foundation. Your inherent value as a human being was never tied to that job, and it is definitely not up for debate now.
And so we end here. Not with an answer, but with an invitation. This isn't just a question to think about, it's a future that you get to create. With all the old stuff stripped away, you have a much clearer view of yourself. So, who are you choosing to become?